All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today we're tackling Sigga planning and scheduling.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and this is specifically for all of you out there who, are wrestling with maintenance operations,
Yeah.
trying to streamline things.
Definitely a pain point for a lot of folks.
Oh, absolutely. We've got this podcast episode we're going to dig into,
Okay, cool.
and been kind of looking through it, and Sigga seems like it could be a pretty big deal.
It seems very powerful from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, just the way they talk about it, tackling those core planning and scheduling issues,
Right.
just right off the bat, that's huge.
And they split it up into those two big modules, right?
Yeah.
Planning and scheduling.
Mm.
But I gotta ask, is it really that straightforward?
I mean, at its core, yeah, I think those two words really do capture the essence.
Okay.
Planning is all about the big picture.
Okay.
Thinking weeks or even months ahead.
Really that far out?
Oh, yeah. Gotta stay ahead of the game. It's where you wrangle that backlog. Get your resources all lined up.
Right.
Make sure you've got the right people, the right skills. And, of course, make sure you actually have all the stuff you need to get those tasks done.
The materials.
Exactly. You don't want to be caught flat-footed when it's go time.
Yeah, that's like planning a big party, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Like making sure you've got enough snacks for everyone and the music is all set.
Decorations.
Yeah, no one wants a last-minute scramble.
Exactly. So that's the planning stage, then the scheduling kicks in.
That's where we zoom in on the day-to-day,
Okay.
assigning the specific tasks,
Mm-hmm.
making those little adjustments that always come up.
Because nothing ever goes exactly according to plan.
Never. It's all about keeping things running smoothly, like a well-oiled machine.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So if planning is the blueprint, scheduling's the actual construction.
Perfect analogy, yeah.
So they're both essential,
Yeah.
but they operate on different timelines, different levels of detail. Now, the podcast also highlighted some features that sound pretty advanced.
Oh, yeah. They went all out.
Mass changes, KPIs, algorithms. It's a lot to unpack.
It can feel like a whole other language.
It does. And to be honest, I'm not sure how they translate to real-world benefits for someone like me, just trying to keep things running.
Okay, well, let's take mass changes as an example.
Right.
Say a piece of equipment suddenly goes down.
Happens all the time.
Right, and you've got a whole bunch of tasks scheduled that now need to be shifted.
Oh, yeah, that's a headache.
Instead of going through and manually updating each one, Sigga lets you do it all at once.
Really all at once.
Boom. Just
Yeah.
like that, you could potentially save hours of work every week.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, what about these KPIs?
KPIs are your friends?
They always sound a bit intimidating, though.
They don't have to be. Think of them as like a health checkup for your operation.
Okay.
Sigga's dashboards show you all these key metrics, wrench time versus travel time, that kind of thing. And that helps you spot areas where you can improve.
Oh.
So maybe you realize one team's spending way too much time traveling between jobs.
Okay.
That's valuable information. You can use that to tweak things, optimize the routes.
So it's data-driven decision-making, not just gut feeling.
Exactly. Data's your friend.
Now, what about these algorithms? Everyone talks about algorithms these days.
Right.
The podcast mentioned they help optimize the scheduling, but I'm not exactly clear how.
Okay, think of it this way. It's like having a super smart assistant who plans everything perfectly.
Oh, like that.
Sigga's algorithms look at all this data worker calendars, skill sets, material availability,
Uh-huh.
even travel time between locations.
Uh-huh.
And then it figures out the most efficient schedule possible.
Wow, so it's doing all the heavy lifting for you.
Exactly. It's making sure the right people are doing the right tasks at the right time.
That's amazing. The feature that really jumped out at me, though, was the material management side.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
They talked about these proactive alerts for stock issues. Can you expand on that a little?
Sure, imagine you've got this critical repair coming up next week.
Okay.
But you're missing a crucial part.
Oh, no.
Sigga would flag that problem way ahead of time.
Like, how far ahead?
Days, even weeks.
Wow,
That gives you plenty of time to order the part and avoid any delays.
that's a lifesaver.
It's all about being proactive instead of reactive.
I'm starting to get the bigger picture here. This isn't just about scheduling. It's about having total control over your entire operation.
Visibility, too.
Yeah.
You know exactly what's going on.
And it sounds like Sigga's interface is pretty user-friendly, too.
They've put a lot of thought into that.
The podcast mentioned different views, drag-and-drop functionality.
Yeah, it's all about making it easy to use. You can see your schedule in all these different ways. Traditional Gantt charts,
Okay.
Kanban boards even. And if you need to make a change, just drag and drop tasks around.
So no more messing around with complicated menus.
Nope, it's all visual, very intuitive.
Speaking of intuitive, what about these dynamic rules?
Oh, those are powerful.
How do they work in practice?
Okay, so think of them like setting up automatic workflows.
Mhm. Let's say a certain task requires a specific certification.
Right.
You can create a rule so that Sigga only assigns it to technicians who have that certification.
That makes sense.
Or let's say a task gets delayed,
Uh-huh.
dynamic rules can automatically reschedule all the tasks that come after it.
So it keeps everything flowing smoothly.
Exactly. No more bottlenecks.
So you're basically automating all those what-if scenarios.
Exactly. You're freeing up your brain to focus on the bigger picture.
I like that.
Hmm.
Okay, one last thing I wanted to touch on the dashboards.
Oh, the dashboards are beautiful.
The podcast made them sound pretty impressive.
They really are. They give you this real-time snapshot of your whole operation.
Okay.
You can see how your team's progressing, any potential roadblocks, your KPIs, all in one place.
So it's like a mission control for your maintenance.
Exactly. And the best part is, if you're already using SAP,
Yeah, a lot of companies are.
Sigga integrates seamlessly. It pulls in all that data directly from your existing systems.
So it's not like you're starting from scratch.
Nope. It just plugs right in.
Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, Sigga basically takes all the complexity of maintenance planning and scheduling,
Uh-huh.
and it makes it manageable, even predictable.
That's the goal.
It helps you be proactive, data-driven.
And ultimately more efficient.
Exactly, more efficient.
Mm.
So here's the big question for everyone listening.
Okay, like this.
If you were running the show, which part of Sigga would you be most excited to implement? What would make the biggest difference in your day-to-day operations? Something to think about as we wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.